This is our Suncast Tremont 8x10 shed. 6 months update. This thing's hold up really well. It's been through rain, it's been through sun, it's been through wind. It handles really well and everything is easy to clean off. We did have some dirt and splashes from the rain. We just washed off with the gardener hose. We're good to go. So let me just show you inside right here. Open this up and you have access to the storage shed. We didn't optimize the use of this storage shed yet because as you can see, things are not optimized. So that's one thing about having a big shed is you have to figure out how to organize the thing to keep it optimized. Now there's 6 skylights, so it's bright in here. You also have vent on that side. You also have a vent this side. So if you look at the top from outside, you can see there's a vent right there. You also have good reinforcement bars all around. So metal bars to keep things really structural rigid. And even though it's resin, it's still very strong resin. And it does come with a floor. That was one of the biggest concern because then this thing is waterproof. We can put our bed here. We actually have batteries in here that we're not worried about water, right? We have some electrical wires here. So this thing is good for storing things and keeping things dry. That's the most important thing. But optimizing the storage is important because obviously we have not optimized the storage, yet it still provides a lot of flexibility for us. We can grab our exercise bike. We have our solar panel when we need to go somewhere. We got that. We're good to go. All of our extra lamps are here. Our computer desk, extra monitor, ladders, bed. We even have a whole power system here. So you could do a lot with this 8x10 storage shed, and you can do more if you have shelves. And this is not our first shed. This is one of my favorite sheds by far. Let me actually show you. I'm a fan of a lot of sheds. I have a metal shed here, and this one is a little bit smaller. It's 5x3. You see, no floor, and that means water will come in and water will get inside. That's the biggest concern about the metal sheds. And also the metal sheds, they have like openings right here because that's a legit opening. You can see through the inside right there. That's an opening, right? So that's the thing about metal shed. And they're a little bit more lightweight. We also got smaller sheds too. Like this Suncast is also a resin shed. And what I like about this one is the locking mechanism down here. It's easy to open and close, but just like the bigger one, it has a floor. And you see how we made more efficient use of the shelving system. Just having shelves, you can put a lot more stuff in. So that's what we want to optimize for our bigger shed. And that's kind of a lesson is that if you have a big shed, you need to really optimize it. Otherwise, get the small one because when you have a small shed, you can access the things easy and you can literally fill it up to the very brim of it, right? And that's how you optimize it. And you see how we have these 2 sheds on the side of our house, optimizing the space. Whereas this one, it's a lot of space, but you gotta keep in mind, you need space to walk into your shed, right? So you can kind of stack things on the side, at the back, but you need some walking space. So even though you have a big shed, you have to keep in mind that you need space to get in and out yourself. So you have to kind of organize things on the edge of the shed and have some walking space. Or if you really want to optimize it, you would pack things you don't need all the way in the back, packed with boxes, and then your more recently needed stuff you can put on the front. That way you have easy access to them, and only when you really need to dig for something way back there, you would. But again, you can see the 8x10 Tremont is a fantastic shed. We've been using it for about 6 months. We've converted it into a tiny home with some electronics. We also use this as a kitchen for a small amount of time where we had microwave, refrigerator, toasters, air fryers, and everything. We also have a bed and we convert this to a mini home theater where we had the bed here, we had that part over there with a white screen and had a projector pointing at that. It works fine. It encloses sound really good. It's a solid unit. Let me show you guys around really quick on this Tremont 8x10 shed. So let me show you around this shed. Of course, when you close this thing, I love that it has a latch. You can close it and you can even lock it like that and no one's getting in. Pretty solid, right? If you open this door, you can actually have this door locked by latching up like this. You see, you can latch this door and latch at the top and the bottom. So this door has a mechanism. So if you want to, you can latch it like this and then lock that down here. So you can lock this one down here and then you can lock it like that. Boom. You can lock this one like this and now this door is locked. So then you have more secure locking mechanisms. It's more solid and when you open it, opens one door, so in and out that way. This one stays closed. So it's kind of up to you if you want to have both doors. I love having both doors, so I never really latch it this way. Boom. So if I undo it, I love that I can open up the shed right here and have access to bringing stuff in and out very quickly, even to the very edge, right? Some sheds have a very narrow front opening. I like that this one has a big opening, so I can easily get big stuff in and out, like that table, like the bed. It's important to have a big opening in the front. So let's go back. Let me close this up right here. Boom, boom, like that. Let me show you around. So again, this has been about 6 months. It has held up great in terms of the weather, in terms of the sun, the wind, no problem. It gets dirty here and there. We can just rinse off with a hose. So this is the back side of it. It's very solid. We also have deck boxes right here. Deck boxes, so we love storage, and this is by far our favorite storage, the 8x10 Tremont from Suncast. Not only is it built well, it has sustained wind, water, heat, and it has held up really, really, really well. Oh, and one last thing is I want to show you the roof of this thing. So let me grab a ladder, which I have in here, and I want to show you the roof of this thing. Up here, this is our Suncast 8x10 shed. So what's nice about it is that the roof is actually looking like real shingles. And it doesn't have rain gutters, but it's designed in a way that water will go to the side and water will go down the other side. And this part, it does get dusty, but it is a roof. And it cleans off very easy by just washing it. And it has a nice texture design. I've seen a lot of other sheds, it's just a smooth design. I prefer this one because it looks good. And there are the skylights that actually bring light into the shed. Now, people don't realize you should have natural light in your shed. Like you have windows right here that bring natural light in your shed, because without natural light, it will be pitch dark. And again, when you open up the shed right here, open up our shed again, you can see it's nice and bright inside because of those skylights right there. You have 6 skylights. So even when you're inside, let's say for example, we close the door and you see we have light coming in there, light up there, light all around. So it's nice and bright inside. Even though there's not a whole lot of windows, there's 2 there, and then there's 6 skylights at the top. And this is an 8x10, it's nice and bright. That's what makes it really nice. Very important to have windows, otherwise it will be pitch dark. And you don't want that, right? You don't want a shed that's pitch dark. I mean, for example, if you want to see what it's like to have a shed that's pitch dark, we can go to our metal shed right here. So in the metal shed right there, if I can actually fit in, I will show you that it is pitch dark. But anyway, so there's our metal shed, and this right here is our 8x10 Tremont shed. So there we go. This is a 6-month update of the 8x10 Suncast Tremont shed, and it's a really nice addition for us to store things, to use it as a tiny home when we want to use it as a movie theater. You can do so much with this shed because it's 8x10. It's literally like adding another room to your home, but the flexibility to do whatever. It's waterproof, it's weatherproof, it has a floor, it's quick to put together, and it holds up really well. There's metal bars reinforcement all around. I've looked at other brands like Keter sheds, I've looked at Rubbermaid sheds. They have thinner panels and they have more parts, so it takes longer to install. This one was relatively easy to install. It took about a day to install, and I feel the pieces snap together really easily, and they're very strong. Like we said, everything is resin molded, so it's one piece, and they're very strong components, and you got windows too. So there we go. This is a Tremont Suncast 8x10, 6 months update, a really fantastic shed. Highly recommend this one. It's one of my favorite sheds I've had so far, and I've had a lot of sheds, as you just saw in this video. You saw my deck box, you saw my metal shed, you saw my vertical sheds. This is the best one we have right here. Suncast 8x10 resin shed right there. Oh yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of space left. We can use this for whatever we want, including adding shelves and really pack this thing to the brim. So there we go. This is the Suncast Tremont 8x10 resin shed right here.